everyone, Saki here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different, as it's probably about February when you're watching this video. I wanted to do a combination of like a Q&A sort of video and also a 2020 goals video. I recently reached 15,000 followers on Instagram. Thank you guys so much if you follow me on there, and if you don't, please follow me on there. I put a lot of work into my Instagram for outfit inspo and stuff like that, and because I've gained a couple of more followers, I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A video so that you guys could get to know me a little bit better. But I also did want to kind of do like a personal like life update and goals video, because I realized I haven't really done this in a long time. I don't really like to talk about my personal life too much, so I thought it would be a good idea to do that in this video today. So if I've been sticking to my video schedule, you will probably be watching this on the day of my wedding. Noah and I are getting married February 2nd, 2020, so it might be the day of this video. If you are interested in my personal life and all things wedding related, I would highly recommend that you go to my Instagram and look at my stories, because I will probably be posting a lot there. So yeah, as you can see, 2020 already has super exciting things happening, so I thought this video would kind of be fitting. If you are new to my channel, I just wanted to say hello and welcome. My name is Saki. I make videos every single week about cute and girly fashion. I really love luxury fashion and all things, you know, fashion and style related. So if you like any of those things yourself, or if you like me and my aesthetic, please hit the like button down below for this video, and also subscribe to my channel because I do upload videos every single week. Alright, I guess we'll just get started. I think I am going to start this video off talking just like in general about my goals this year and kind of give you guys like an idea of what's going on in my life, and then we'll move on to the couple of Q&A questions I did ask in my stories yesterday, and I did end up getting a couple, not too many though, so I'll kind of stick those at the end. So 2020, a big year for me, big year for my personal life, as like I mentioned, we are getting married. So there are a lot of things that I've just kind of reflected on in my life, and there are a lot of things that I do want to change about my life and my lifestyle. I wrote a list so I don't just ramble, and I do have some concrete things that I want to talk about. So number one, money. As you know, this is a shopping channel. I do a lot of hauls and unboxings and a lot of things related to shopping on this channel, which of course all involves money. So I actually do have a lot of money goals. I know everybody says this every year, but the way that I approach this is I actually want to set myself a couple of really realistic goals. So what I'm talking about is, like, instead of saying, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, save all of the extra money that I make each month, instead of saying that, because I just feel like that's too vague and too general, I'm going to say I'm going to save at least like a X amount of dollars. Hey, Sally! I don't know, can you see her down here? We got a little visitor. Hey, Sally! I love you so much. You want to say hi? She doesn't like this that much. You want to say hi? Hi. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, so instead of just like saying something super vague, like I want to save all of my money this year, I think I'm going to try and set a realistic amount that I can probably save each month. Let's say it's like $100 or something. I feel like that is very realistic, and that little bit of money adds up like each month and over time. So no matter like how much money I spend, I feel like I should always save at least an X amount of money each month. The other goal that I have about money is that I want to start limiting my little purchases like here and there. I feel like living in this world nowadays, almost everybody is addicted to Amazon. I am just that type of person who spends a little bit of money here and there like all the time though. Like I'm always on my phone browsing at stuff, and I'm always like, oh, this is only like 10 bucks, this is only 20 bucks. I might as well buy it. It's so cheap and inexpensive, and I want to quit doing that. I've already kind of stopped doing that in the past couple of weeks, where I've looked at stuff on my Amazon account or my Etsy account or just online, and I've added it to cart, and then I go back and think like, okay, do I really need this thing? I know it's only $10, but do I really need it? And a lot of the times the answer is no. So instead of just like quickly adding things to cart and not thinking about the $10, even the $5 that you're spending, I want to kind of stop myself and reflect a little bit more about if I need these things, because that does really add up over time. Like just a couple of bucks here and there. It really adds up. So I want to be more aware and more conscious of that. I am obviously really addicted to luxury things, and what I've been doing a lot in 2018 is buying stuff because it's cheap or it's on sale or whatever the case may be. I've talked about this a couple of times already, like in my worst purchases video last year, and I bought a couple of pieces that are in my collection right now that I just bought because they were extremely discounted. Like, for example, my Chanel bowler bag right there. I like it and I'm glad I have it in my collection right now, but I never use it, and really the only reason I bought it is because, one, it's in one of my favorite colors, and it was only like 700 bucks, which $700 is a lot and you can do a lot with that money, but for Chanel that is a relatively cheap price, I guess. And I just felt that I was buying stuff like that because it was heavily discounted, and I'm like, oh, it's a once in a lifetime deal, but that doesn't mean that you have to spend the money on it. So I want to be more conscious of those types of purchases so that I'm not just spending my money willy-nilly, for lack of a better term. All right, moving on from money, what I really want to focus more or get back to this year is planning. So I did a lot of paper planning in my like traveler's notebook and in just my like personal, you know, planners that I used to carry around with me, and that actually helped me a lot in like managing my goals, managing my time, and all of that stuff. However, it got to be really time consuming because I used to sticker plan, and sticker planning, it takes a lot of time. Let me just show you guys what I mean, one second. Alright, just for those of you who haven't been following my channel for a long time, I used to plan like this, and I actually did a lot of videos where I did like plan with me's and stuff, where I just did these like really beautiful like spreads in my planner. The original one looks blank like this, and then you kind of just like decorate and fill in your own things and stuff like that, which I love to do. I love like scrapbooking, and so I feel like this style of planning was just made for people who are a little bit creative and who like to do stuff like this. However, this is so freaking time consuming. Like, I would spend hours doing this type of stuff, and I just don't have that many hours in a day. If you didn't know, I do have a full-time job outside of like YouTube and Instagram and that stuff. I'm actually a restaurant owner, so pretty much my entire day is spent at the restaurant, so I just don't have time to spend planning like that. However, I did recently discover a new way of planning, and that is through my iPad. I've had this iPad Pro for years and years, and I've never found any sort of use for it. I basically just bought it because it was pink and it matched my laptop. I recently discovered a way of planning on my iPad that is really easy. It's portable, and the best part about it is that I don't have to spend like hours and hours decorating it, because it's just so freaking easy, and so like all the tools that you need are on here. You don't have to like buy stickers, wait for them to come in the mail, and then if you make a mistake you have to reprint and all of this stuff. So that was kind of a hassle. This way everything is on the iPad, and as you can see, it is really similar. I still do plan with like stickers and stuff, and on the days that I don't want to, I don't have to. Like, this one is really like plain, and it's just handwriting, and you can find so many like different styles and resources online. I use the app called Good Notes, and I just downloaded a digital planner from Etsy, so it's really easy, and obviously it's made more easily by the Apple Pencil. I have the first generation one because, like I said, I bought this a long time ago, and it just makes like writing in this pretty much like a notebook, and I love it so much. And it's, like I said, it's just so easy and so portable, and it takes way less time. So I want to use this style of planning a lot more this year, so hopefully it can help me get more on track with my goals and keeping up with my life and all of that, because I really always need something to help me with that. So I did share a little bit of my digital planner on Instagram the other day, and I got a couple of questions from people on how to digitally plan and how I do it. So please let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to do an entire video about like how to digitally plan, like just the basics, and then like how I do it. I just don't know if you guys are interested in that anymore on my channel, so if you are, just please let me know so that I can put that on my list of things to do. Alright, moving on. The next goal that I really want to commit to this year is actually spending more time on my personal life, and more specifically on my friends. I currently like maybe see my best friend, I don't know, once every month, maybe even less than that, because I just spend all of my time at the restaurant. I'm there pretty much like 12 hours a day, maybe more, but always around that mark, and I just never ever get to see my friends. I have one day a week off, but it's on a Tuesday, so most of my friends are busy with their own lives or are working, so it's just very hard to make time for that kind of thing. But it's not impossible, it's just I get kind of lazy and I don't know, just excuses. But I recently went to brunch with one of my best friends just the other day, and I don't know, it felt like really good to catch up and to not think about work and to spend more time talking about my personal life and her personal life, and it was just really real and organic. And I feel like I don't get that experience anymore because I'm always at work in the same environment, and I don't know, I just feel like I didn't realize how important it was to have that like personal time. Of course, I also mean like spending more time with Noah and spending more time with my family as well, but I think that more specifically I just don't give myself enough time to spend with like my own friends. So I'm definitely like one of those types of people. When I'm in a relationship, I mainly just spend my time with my significant other, which is very important, don't get me wrong. I do love spending time with Noah and I think that's very important. However, I always just kind of, I don't know, neglect my friendships and stuff, so I want to spend more time working on that, especially because now that we are married and everything, I feel like our relationship is pretty solid and I should really get back to working on more of my personal friendships and stuff. I just noticed that I'm always using the excuse like, oh, it's like too late, I'm too tired, or I just don't have time, or yada. And yeah, it does get a little late. Like I don't get off work until like 11 p.m. and I am tired because I work like 12 hours a day, but I hate always just automatically saying no to like going out with friends and stuff because of these things. So I want to push myself a little bit more to just go out and relax and enjoy. So yeah, that is definitely one of my biggest goals. All right, so my next goal is actually kind of very vague, and that is work on more adulting. So what I mean is I want to kind of refocus my life a little bit more and refocus my like time and really think about like what the next steps in my life are going to be. I think this is stemming from a combination of just getting married and the fact that I am almost 30 years old now, and I just want to kind of start the path to moving on in my life, I guess. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, and I know that probably all like people this age kind of go through that, but I don't just want to start thinking about it more. In the previous years, I've always been like, oh, that's so far away, like kids, what? Like that's just so far in the future. But I want to just start and begin to think about those types of things now. So what I'm thinking about here specifically is starting to save money to buy a house. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this has been a constant battle for me. I've actually planned to buy a house maybe like 3 other times already, but stuff just keeps getting in the way and life just keeps happening and I haven't been able to save enough money. But I'm very close to saving up for a down payment, and I have like these specific goals in mind that I'm really close to achieving. So I just got to kind of refocus on that and really think more towards the future of like, when are we gonna start having kids and stuff like that. Just scary stuff that I even have a hard time saying out loud right now. But I mean, because we are moving on to the next step of our lives, I feel like I have to start thinking about those things. So sorry to interrupt the video, but I forgot to mention that I do have a couple of YouTube goals this year too, and I just realized as I was editing that I forgot to tell you. But basically I want to get back to my schedule of uploading about 2 videos a week, just because I have a lot of new ideas for my channel and I really wanted to bring you guys more content. So I also want to work harder this year after we come back from the wedding to upload 2 videos a week for you guys, so please stay tuned for that as well. Alright, this video could go on forever because it is the beginning of the year and I feel like I just have so many like goals that I want to add to my list, but I'm just gonna stop here and add just one more goal, and that is to work on clearing out my closet. This one I feel like is super doable. It's just, it takes so much time, and I used to do these closet clear outs pretty regularly, like every few months, but I haven't done one in probably like a year just because my clothes have been piling up and it's been such a daunting task that I just don't want to do it. I actually have a huge pile of clothes laying right here, right next to me, of all the things that I do want to sell. I just haven't had the time to like take pictures and put them up on the internet. So yeah, I definitely need to get that done this year, probably here in the next couple of months. I think after we come back from Thailand and from our honeymoon, I'm definitely going to try to get on that first thing. All right, hopefully that didn't take forever, because we do want to move on to the Q&A portion of this video now. Let's see, I won't spend too long on each question because I know that this video has been so long already. First question is, since when did you go all pink? I actually think I have two questions similar to this. A lot of people are curious to know how long I've loved pink for, and the answer is actually forever. I've loved pink literally forever. The first clothing item that I can remember like loving is this pink Hello Kitty dress from when I was really young, and I asked my mom about it and she's like, yeah, you loved wearing that dang pink Hello Kitty dress. You wore it every single day. And of course, all of my things like since I was young have been pink. That's probably like a result of my mom liking pink, and she just kind of, you know, put me on that path to liking pink, but it's stuck. I've actually thought about doing a video this year all about like the different fashion choices that I've made over the past decade and how my style has evolved. You'll see it's kind of funny because it's always been pink, but it's always been like a different kind of pink and a different style, but pink has always been in my style. So let me know if you think I should do something like that, because I think it would be really fun to kind of reflect over the decade of fashion, I guess, that I've gone through. All right, next question. What is your next bag goal? Oh yes, I did talk about goals in the beginning of this video, but not about bag goals. I actually have a whole wish list video coming up about the bags that I do want to buy this year, but I do want to throw this out there, and I think I really want to go for an Hermes bag. Not even this year, but if we're talking about like big bag goals, I really have my sights set on like a pink Kelly or Birkin or something. I know it's totally unrealistic and it probably won't even happen this year, but if we are talking about big goals, that is definitely one of my big bag goals. All right, how did you and your soon-to-be hubby meet? So this is actually really simple. We met on Tinder. We were both like single and bored at the time, and we swiped right on each other, and that was pretty much it. Do you have an updated favorite Japanese brand? So actually, kind of yes and no. So I want to actually buy less Japanese brands next year, because actually this should have been one of my goals in the beginning, but I actually don't feel like they are the best when it comes to fit and size. So before, I used to buy a lot of Liz Lisa clothing and a lot of other Japanese brands, but I liked the clothing so much that I kind of ignored how it looked and fit on me. Everything pretty much is one size in Japan, and I just feel like I was completely ignoring the fact that I just didn't feel super like good in it because I thought it was like super cute. So that resulted in me wasting like a lot of clothes, because after the initial like newness of it wore off, I just didn't feel confident and comfortable in it anymore. And literally that has to do with mainly size and fit. Like I always felt like something was super cute and it looked great on a model, but because I'm not the exact size and shape of that model, it didn't look the same on me. And once the like new shininess and the newness of the clothing item wore off, I just felt like I wasn't wearing it as often anymore. So I want to try and stop buying Japanese brands unless I buy them in Japan, since you can try them on before and really assess the fit before you buy it. Buying Japanese brands online sucks because you can't return anything even if you don't like it or if it doesn't fit. So that is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily want to spend my money on that anymore. However, if we are talking about that, I think I have found a couple of brands that I do find that the fit is a little bit better on me, and one of those brands is Ingni. They really have a lot of basic kind of clothing styles, but I do feel like I really love their sweaters and I really love their basics, and they do fit a lot better than, let's say, Liz Lisa or something. So I will leave a link to Ingni down below. So those have been my like go-to brands. What's your favorite place to shop? So right now, gosh, what is my favorite place to shop? I mainly do all of my shopping online, and I've really been shopping on Asos a lot. I feel like Asos is not one of those sites that a lot of people based in the US use, but I love it because it has like a mix of different kinds of brands, and they also have their own designs, and I feel like the quality isn't like super cheap like Shein or anything, but it's more in the middle. I'm not to that level yet where I can spend like hundreds of dollars on a piece of clothing, and even though it is a good investment, I just don't find that I just have the money to spend that kind of amount on a piece of clothing. So I do appreciate how Asos has a combination of like both higher end and lower end, and they also have a lot of stuff in the middle. How do you best handle control spending in order to save up for something like a Chanel bag? So I actually have a whole video on how to save money for a Chanel bag, or my tips on how to buy Chanel, so I will link that down for you below. But basically, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the things I did already talk about in the beginning of this video, just being really aware of your spending habits, even on little purchases like $5 or $10 here and there, I think really helps. And also having like a set realistic amount of money that you can put aside. Let's say it's even like $20 a week, or if you can't afford it, maybe like $50 a week or something, and all of that really adds up. And you have to be patient. I know you asked for money saving tips, but the biggest tip in general is just to be patient. And when you have accumulated like a little bit of money, let's say $1,000 or whatever, maybe even $500, don't be impatient and spend that money because you have already waited a long time and saved up that amount of money. You really just have to be patient and keep saving in order to reach that goal. Just keep saving for that Chanel bag, because Chanel does cost a lot of money. What do you think about the Fendi Can I? Started my Luxe collection and obsessed with ribbon and pearl bags. So I don't have any Fendi bags. I actually really do love the Fendi Can I. I love the shape of it, I love the style, and I love the gorgeous like scallop detail on it. I feel like the Fendi Can I had more of a phase maybe in the previous year or even 2 years ago, but I loved it so much. But to be honest, I don't think I would spend that money on a Fendi Can I bag, just because I think it's super trendy. Although I will always love girly details like pearls and scallops, I just don't find that I ever want to spend a ton of money on something that I can't possibly like resell if I wanted to, or that I might get tired of. I am the type of person to get really bored really easily, especially with my bags and looks and stuff like that. So I feel like if I owned that bag, I would just get tired of it after a while, and then I wouldn't be able to resell it for the amount that I bought it for. So I just don't find that it's for me, and I don't necessarily think that's a good investment for me. Do you ever miss Thailand or consider moving there? Absolutely not. So I don't think I've ever really talked about this on my channel, but my family is from Thailand. I was actually born in the United States, but right after I was born, we moved back to Thailand, and I went to school for a couple years there and then came back. So I did live there for a while, but I would never ever consider going back. I mean, obviously, who knows in the future, and never say never, but I don't really see myself ever moving back like willingly, because although I do love visiting there and I love visiting my family there, I just can't deal with a couple of big things like the humidity. And another thing is, I don't know if everybody will understand this, but having lived in a country like Thailand, after like just seeing the differences between that and what my life is like in America, I just like this so much better. I don't know how to describe it. I've just completely like already grown accustomed to the way I live in America and to all of the awesome things that we have and the opportunities, and I just don't feel like it could ever go back. Although if I had to, I obviously could, but I just don't feel like I would ever want to willingly move there unless something crazy and big happened. So alright, that was the end of my video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed more of this like personal talk. I don't know, it feels so awkward talking about my personal life, but I do love being more open and sharing that side of my life with you guys, so I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you do have any other questions, please always feel free to comment on my videos or DM me on Instagram or leave a comment on my Instagram, because I do really actively try to get to as many as I can. So alright, if you did like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do upload videos every single week. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!